Okay, so we're back. Okay, so it cost me a seal, but such is life. We learn and we move on, and we grow from that. That's how, we make mistakes and we learn. That's important to have patience with this stuff. So, anyways, we have to make sure that when we install our crankshaft, that our crankshaft gear and our cam gear are timed properly. So let me look that up in the book so I can make sure that I tell you how to do this right and that I do it right, because obviously, I screwed up a seal, but we want to make sure that things are done right. And otherwise this engine won't run and it'll be frustrating because we'll have to tear it all back apart again and maybe ruin a couple gaskets in the process, and we don't want to do that. So let me get that scoped out and then get back to you. Okay, so per the book, if you can see that right there, there's a dot, and on this cam it's a line, and then there's another little nick or something in the side of the crankshaft. So if we look, there's nothing on that side, but there's a little tiny nick right there. So that line needs to line up with our other line in there. So to do that, we will lay it on its side. You probably won't be able to see this, but that's okay. Making sure to put a little oil on our journal here so that it's got some lube on it to start with. Fish that guy in. Connecting rod's right in the road. It is a snug fit to get everything in here and make sure that it'll jive with one another. Take a little bit of trial and error here to get it all lined up. Okay. This might take me a minute. It's kind of hard to see and maneuver this at the same time, but you got to get those marks lined up, and I'll show you once I get it done. Okay, I don't know how well this is gonna show up, but right back in there, I don't think it's gonna show up. Anyways, those marks are lined up. You have to fiddle with it to get it to line up and work just right. It's a challenge, but it can be done. You just got to be patient with it. So anyways, let me get you back up on the stand here. So with the marks lined up, and get that out of there, and I need to wipe off the connecting rod journal there with a clean paper towel, at least a piece of one. Make sure that it's all nice and clean, and that the bearing itself is clean. So we don't want any crap getting in there on our brand new parts. Anyways, so get it rest in that journal and pull the piston back up to the bottom of the stroke there. That way we can work on it. So then, taking our oil can, we want to make sure that we get some good lube on there. That aluminum bearing is going to need some love and it's probably going to take a beating over the next 30 to 40 years. And make sure that this guy's all nice and clean. There's no crap in it. Okay, let me peel my glove off what's left of it. Okay. Just a little tiny black mark on there, but I can't catch it with my fingernail, so it must not be anything of major value. Anyways, so that guy goes on. Seat's on there. Okay. So that guy goes on there. And then we take our clip, or our lock, it's got to go on. And then our oil dipper's got to go on too. I guess they want us to put it like so. Let me grab the instruction sheet real quick. Okay, so it shows us, okay, right here, figure 5. It shows us that the lock plate goes on over top of our bolts. So we take our lock plate, notice one side's higher than the other. So the higher side obviously is going to be up enough to accompany it, and then there is a cast mark in there for oil dipper to reside. We take and put that on. We take our bolt, put just a little bit of oil on it because we want it to be lubricated as we torque it down, because it is going into aluminum. Okay, do the same with our other one. Nice little shot of oil there. Okay, and then per the book we need to torque it at 100 inch-pounds. So I've got one of these. It actually just came in the mail today. I've ordered one because I need one. I've never had a use for one for quite a while, but I just, you know, if I start rebuilding these engines, I need one. So make sure that you torque them kind of in unison. Don't torque one down first with the other one being loose. Kind of get them evenly tight here, so that way that way you're not putting strain and deforming things here. because you don't want to do that. Want to make sure that we do it right and that this engine, you know, is put together right so it'll run for, you know, another 50 years without any issue. You know, maybe down the road what I'll probably do is I'll get a set of spare 30 thousandths oversized rings, and then when the time comes, if I still own it, then those rings will get put in this engine. Okay, and we're at 100 inch-pounds there. We're at 100 there. Okay. So make sure that after torquing that everything, that ain't gonna work. Make sure that everything jives, and it's not jiving. So we must need to flip everything around again. So, like I say, you live and you learn. So I'm gonna flip everything around and come back. Okay, so got it put back together. Had to flip it around. But yeah, everything jives now like it should. Everything is good. That bore's just pretty tight. So, anyways, so now we need to fold over the locks. I recommend a video on YouTube. Fellow YouTuber named Squatch253 is his channel. He does a lot of Caterpillar rebuilds and that sort of thing, and Caterpillar's notorious for using fold-over locks. He has some great videos on how to do that. I'm not going to go into depth on that. I'm just going to do it and then I'll come back. I recommend his video. Just type in Squatch253 fold-over lock, and he's got a great 15-minute little video on explaining how they work, why they work, how to do them, etc. So I highly recommend that. I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and start on the next part. Okay, so I got them installed. I just used a pair of pliers here, just a pair of small water pump wrench pliers, and just folded over one so that if I ever do come back in, and the connecting rod will probably still be good, then I can use this side, use the opposite side if I need to, if I can't source that lock for some reason. So next thing is we need to get the sump cover on. Everything else inside of here is done up. I'll squirt a little oil on things, put the sump cover on so that we have a nice base to start working with. And then we'll flip it over and then put the head on and then torque that down. And then that might be as far as I go with this video. I don't know, we'll see. Let's get to that point first.